Alright, everybody, we are back, and now it is time for not the preseason, but now we are into the regular season of the RD Racing League here on the World of Outlaws. Round 1 here at Volusia. We are racing in the 410 sprints, as always, and after our 3 races of the preseason, now it is time, and it all counts. And let me tell you, everyone that is great at this game has shown up for the regular season. I got into this league by seeing it on YouTube when I was looking up information about this new game coming out. I saw the page at a couple thousand followers. I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah, racing league to get into this game. That sounds awesome. I didn't realize how high level of a league this is. You'll see, this is a couple weeks after this race actually happened. On pretty much every round this season, almost all, if not all, of the top 10 fastest time holders on the leaderboards are in this league. Like, if there was a World of Outlaws esports series, it would just be full of RD League racers, which is kind of cool because, I'm right here in the thick of it, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, and fastest leagues in the world in this game. But the bad thing is, I've never played any of these games like this before, and I'm going fucking right into the thick of it immediately. And yeah, here this was just qualifying. I kind of caught up to the car ahead, but I already felt like I put in a decent lap time, so I was just polite and got out of the way of the cars in front. Going in, I felt confident in how I could drive the car, but I could tell just from the times that, there's just something I wasn't figuring out with the setup. I'm still new to this game, and to be racing against the best people in the world, you've really got to figure your shit out with the setups. I'm definitely not slow by any means, but like I said, compared to the fastest drivers of the world, and not all of them were showing up for all the preseason races where we are consistently making A mains. It's going to be a challenge just to make A mains in this league. You basically need to be a top 10 player in the world on the track to be able to easily make it into the main. And you will see in these first few races of the season, the quality of skill is just premium in this league with the pace that they run. But at the same time, like we've seen in the preseason, while some of them have the speed, some of them also do not have the consistency. So just as much of it will be trying to avoid any and all incidents. And while we're definitely not a favorite to win this championship by any means, my goal is to get some top 5s possibly and just do as well as I possibly can in the championship. See how high up the rankings we can get. And yeah, I just have fun with this kind of stuff. This kind of for the first time ever, it threw me back to when I started in league racing. The first league I was ever in was a league where I wasn't winning races. It took me to my 3rd season in that league to win a race, and I just enjoyed that progress of being a midfield runner, to being like the best of the rest of the non-race winners, to getting some podiums, to eventually getting that win. That progression in racing games I really like, because it doesn't matter if you're at the front of the pack or the back of the pack, you always got people around you that you're close to in competition that you're always striving to beat if you're a competitive person, which I am. So it's the two things I like about gaming. It's you can get the competitive part and just the fun of playing it part all in one in league racing. And yeah, you can see my time was 5th out of 6, so you can tell I'm definitely. It's not that I'm slow, it's just that the rest of these guys are so fucking fast. And yeah, I was definitely correct in my feelings going into this race, that I felt like I was decent, but I just still felt like there was more to find in the setup, more pace to find. And that is the case here, but we will see in the heat race itself what we can actually do. I think that's all I really wanted to talk about going into this. Like, yeah, we are in the regular season now. Our goal is just simply to do as best as we can, and a lot of these people are on teams together as well, so it kind of gives me a little more pride knowing that I'm not just a new guy coming from completely different games into this game competing with the best of the best, but I'm also doing it as kind of a lone wolf. I ain't working with other top drivers on my setups or anything. I'm figuring it all out myself, so it kind of gives me more pride in any bit of success I can have in this league. But regardless of everything else aside, all that matters right now is the result on the track. And as we load in, it will now be time for our heat race, or group race, however you want to word it. We will be starting 5th out of 6. This event had enough entrants that there is a C main, so top 2 to the A, second 2 to the B, 5th and 6th to the C, and only the winners go to the dash. So right away we get a great start. Able to keep it clean here, going side by side with the 41 beside us. We're not on the preferred line here. We're going to try to hang it around the outside. Knowing that I qualified 5th, I mean, that would be a C main position. So if I can just keep together these positions that I've gained here, get a decent run, maybe if someone makes a mistake ahead or an incident happens in front of me, I can squeak my way to the B main. But right now it's looking like C main, as I am in 5th place, and as you can see, the cars ahead are just slowly pulling forward on me. And I still feel like I'm driving pretty well, all things considered. I'm driving very smooth. I'm getting very close to the inside wall here. Maybe not on that lap. I kind of mirrored 4th place's line. But yeah, just the setup is what I was missing out on. And as the races would progress in this season, I would come to realize, you kind of have that thought process. Do I just suck? Or is it the setup? Or is it both? And I did come to learn that, while I could do little things different to optimize my driving style more, it was definitely the setup where I was lacking, which is a great thing, because if you're just bad at a game, you're bad at a game. But if you just don't have the setup, all you got to do is just find the correct setup, and boom, you're right on the pace immediately, but that is obviously a lot easier said than done. As we come to the last lap of this race, the rest of the field is unfortunately pulling away from us, and it is looking like, unless if we get someone to make a mistake here in the last corner of the race, everyone keeps it clean and tidy, and it is going to be 5th place out of 6 for us, which means we will be relegated down to the C main. It is what it is, but I had a good amount of confidence in my consistency going into the C main. And seeing the videos of RD racing from the other divisions, the other car classes, if you're in a C main and you just keep it together, you should be able to make it out with no problem. So that will be our goal in this one, definitely, to make it to the B main. If not, see if we can somehow get lucky and squeak our way into the A. But for this one, it is 5th place out of 6 in our heat racing. And yeah, it was a little bit of a kick in the dick, because I was doing a lot better in preseason, and I've obviously just missed the setup here tonight. But that doesn't mean that there still isn't work that I can do on track here to optimize the situation as much as possible. We're starting 4th in the C main. We only really need to gain 1 position on track, and right away people are getting into me. People are just diving it in everywhere. I'm able to keep it off the outside wall there somehow. As you can see, just people just slamming into me everywhere. Luckily, I don't get spun, and I remain in 4th place after the first very hectic lap. I'm really hoping that this settles down and the field gets spread out, so I can just pick off maybe 1 driver. That's all I need that I'm quicker than. And these guys are going side by side ahead of us. They both take a bad line through the corner, so I might be able to get a 2 for 1 here. I'm able to get 1. I'm going to stay low to avoid the other one. I really just want to avoid any bullshit contact and really fuck up our races here. I don't really care so much about 2nd or 1st. I really just want to ensure that I'm in the top 3 and make it to the next race, being the B main. With that said, this car in front of us, I do feel like I'm a little bit faster than him, but you got to be a little bit more than just a little bit faster to be able to make an overtake happen on a track like this. We're going to try out different lines, go high there, get the run. Are we going to be able to get underneath him? Just about, but not enough to have a good enough run onto this almost backstretch here at Volusia. This track is kind of fun to drive. While it is oddly shaped, it is still at least wide enough to be able to consistently do some side-by-side racing. And the not preferred line is at least good enough that if you're considerably faster than a car ahead, you can make a move happen. There, he made a little bit of a mistake defending too much to the inside. We used the outside to not be too quick around the corner, but get a great run onto the exit. We're going to use the high side again as we see him coming down low. He gets into us on the bottom, and right now there's another car, the white car, just behind us, and I really want to make sure that we don't crash and lose a position, and I really just want to make it into the B main so I don't fight him too hard around that final corner. And while it's frustrating we weren't able to hold second place, nonetheless, we did what really matters here, and that is ensure that we make it to the big show. Well, I guess it's not the big show. I'm used to there only being the B main. I'm sorry. We made it to the almost big show, the B main. Now as we get ready to go green at the B main, we are starting dead last, 15th out of 15th. We get a great start though. We're going to keep it tight on the inside, let everyone push up the track into each other around us, and we're going to keep hugging this bottom here, but we're going to get slammed into the ass by the guy that got second in the last main and lose every position that we gained on the first lap. Gotta love it. Again, we're going to try to hug the inside real tight here because I see people diving each other, so that pushes them up the track to the outside, and I want to avoid all of that. As you can see, just cars flying around absolutely everywhere, so hopefully we can get a couple free positions here. We're going to need some if we want to even attempt to have a chance of making it to the A main. Get the overtake done on the blue car there, but he has so much pace in the car to be able to come back underneath us. And look at this absolute gaggle in front of us. Almost get clipped by the number 2, the blue car behind us. But there was a crash behind, and that is going to bring out our first yellow that we have seen in the regular season. Now resetting. We are in P12, so we've at least gained a few spots, but I'm on the outside, which I'm always afraid of on restarts, because like I said, people send it in too deep, or contact happens. It's going to push the cars to the outside of the track where I am. Two-car gets an incredible launch and uses it to slam straight into us. Contact everywhere. It's just impossible to avoid all the cars. And now we're able to gain a few more positions. We're up into 11th now. Everyone hitting the outside fence. Everyone hitting everyone. I get up and involved into it as they come up in front of us. It's just impossible to dodge the chaos going on. And just like that, we are up into 5th position just by being able to avoid the chaos. Lap 8 out of 15 here. I just need a couple more positions to be able to make it to the A main. But hopefully our car setup has the pace to be able to do so. The car ahead, 4th place, makes a little bit of a mistake. We're able to gain some ground on them. We just need to nail our laps consistently. Hopefully these guys ahead make enough of mistakes to be able to give us a chance to get into the A main. The laps are ticking down quickly though. 6 to go. The guy behind me is very quick. Looks like he has a little bit more pace than us. He's going to dive it down the inside. We gently touch wheels, but we're going to keep it together. He slows down on the straight. I'm trying to not get into him there, but when he pulls up in front of us and then lets go of the gas, it's pretty hard to avoid him. So a little bit of an ambitious move by him to throw it up in there and then let go of the gas. I mean, I don't know what more I could have done to avoided that from happening there. And he was so close to my front end that even if I would have turned, I would have just spun him out. But luckily I didn't mess up his race too much. None of us are in a position to make the main anyhow, or else I would have felt more bad about it. But he has enough pace. Look at the pace he has in the setup to just catch up to us. We try to make this outside line work. It doesn't. Now we got another car coming right behind us. He's going to hit us in the ass. Coming into turn 1, is he going to send it in and hit us? Nope, this is the last lap now, and we are in P6. But when we touch the outside fence, he throws it in there and takes the position from us. And that is us out of the event in the B main. We are not able to make it into the A main. We get 7th place, which is 19th overall for the event. A middle of the field result. And that is, like I said, our night done. So yeah, a lot of work on, specifically the setup. But tune in for our next race, and we will see if we can make gains towards the front of the pack and maybe make our first A main.